Thank you.
Okay, so good evening, everybody. So let's just try and dive in. How did the first stage go? Because you've had the first HR stage, right? And in your opinion, if you were to score yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say you took out? How would you score yourself on that first stage?
I would say maybe a 7.
That's not good enough, right? 7 is not good enough. 7 is borderline, right? Anyways, we're not going to sit on that tonight. But so tonight I am trying to look for a copy of that JD. But I would want us to. So do you know who you are meeting with tomorrow? Dan,
Dennis,
and
guy.
Kryan. Let Faye just give us a synopsis how her interview went, and then perhaps Philip and I can take that away, and dissect it in whatever way we deem fit.
Sorry, I thought I was.
No, you were not.
All right, so the interview, they didn't ask for all this, tell me about yourself. And so instead with them talking about the organization and the role itself. So the role itself, they want someone that is not just functional, but technical. From everything they said during the 20 minutes intro, you could tell that they wanted someone that had hands-on experience, not just experience, but hands-on experience with integration, because they asked questions on how you carry out integration, not just as a BA, but as a system analyst person. So I think that was it. Apart from that, they asked questions on the projects that you've done, because they want to know if you've actually engaged in any form of integration. What I said, the response I gave to that, she showed that I had functional experience, because that was their feedback after the interview, that I had a lot of functional experience, but not technical enough. Do you understand? So that's it.
Okay, now sorry, I'm going to just take you on here. So when you say they are looking for a technical person, did they throw any keywords, buzzwords around that you can?
Integration mainly. Integration.
So as in, what is integration, or what do you mean?
Yeah, what is your role during integration? What is the role of the solution tech architect? What have you performed any integration before?
And obviously, you couldn't answer those questions to the extent to which they were looking for.
That they were looking for. Yes.
I don't think I have any follow-up question, but I want to ask. Well, maybe the question I ask is, what do you think they are expecting? Let me just put it in. What do you think they are looking for?
So who are you asking that question now?
Faith.
You're asking
Me?
Faith. Okay, all right.
Yeah, but with your what you've done.
Yeah, exactly.
If given second chance, what will you say? What will you do?
Or what will you do differently? Correct.
Oh, okay. I'm already watching videos on integration to learn, just in case I have any subsequent interviews, similar interviews. And yeah, so I'm just trying to brush up my knowledge on integration, on how integration is done, not just knowing how it is done, but fully knowing how it is done, hands-on experience.
So what happened? But in your response, did you still talk about the
NetSuite, Oracle.
all that stuff you did,
Yes,
right?
I
But
did.
you were talking from a BA point of view, right?
Yes.
Okay. And they weren't convinced.
Yeah, they said they like that I've done it, but they wanted me to be the one that integrated it.
So they look for admin.
Yeah, so they are looking for a configurator.
Yes.
Right, Philip? Yeah, they're looking for a configurator, somebody that would open up the system and say, okay, these are the mapping tables, right? How does this particular object map to that object, or even at the column level? to say that, okay, this is how this particular data set is going to move from this app to the other app, right? And you are very conscious about the kind of test you are doing. You are looking at the data types. Is it numeric, alphanumeric, and all those kind of jazz. So that's what they were looking for.
So I'm back. I don't know what happened. It just logged me. I
Yes.
don't know what happened. I'm
Okay.
so sorry about that.
No problem. Okay, so what she's saying is that it looks like as if this role is for somebody is going to be a hands-on role. So it's not a functional role, as it were. It seems to be a technical role. And that's what Faye is saying, that they need somebody who has technical experience, implementing integrations. That's what they are looking for. Now, having said that, I want to quickly ask you, Dorcas. Now, without having to, so number one, there's nothing that will make me tell you that you should not go and do that interview. But my question is to you that how do you feel when you realize that this is going to be a technical hands-on role? Is this the kind of role that you are actually looking for? Or it is just because you are looking for work? Because it's worse for you to get on a job, even if you're able to maneuver your way into the job, and only either before your probation ends, both of you can fire each other without cause. I hope you know that. No, it's true. I've done multiple HR projects, so I understand. There's resignation, there's termination with cause, and there's termination without cause. Understanding that this is not a functional role, it's a technical role. And like I said, I would always tell you to go for the interview, but do you think this is the kind of job that you want to be doing on a day-to-day basis? That's my question to you.
Thank you very much for that question. Well, the two options you gave to me applies to me, right? I'm just looking for a break into the Salesforce ecosystem. And my philosophy, anyone who knows me, if we can let you know that I don't go into any interview telling them what I don't have a touch point with. So I don't go there to claim that I know what I don't know. So, and I believe that, and day by day, I go on improving myself, right? So I believe that whoever is going to give me that chance will give me that chance. If it's not this one, then it's going to be another one. So regardless, I still want to go into that interview and talk about what I know. If that's not enough for them, then that's fine.
Okay, you really didn't answer my question. You skillfully navigated around it. My question was, is this you don't, as in, I can do this job. If you ask me, yes, I can do it. Do I want to do it? No, but I can, right? Because of the things I've done, and I'll be comfortable doing it. The question I'm asking you is that, will you be comfortable in a technical role? It's a yes or no. I don't need stories, Dorcas. So if you tell me yes, that's fine. I'm not going to challenge you, but you're not even answering me. That's the challenge. I've not heard yes or no from you. Am I making sense?
Yeah. Yes, you are. Definitely.
So that's what I'm saying. You can tell me, Oga Mike, I just want to try my luck. I get it. So, so when we look at this, right, it seems like when they have these parts, they're actually taking it very seriously.
Yeah,
This part. That's what Faye is saying. So if you come in here now, you need to tell them how you were able to integrate Salesforce to another app. And not from a BA perspective, from a technical consultant perspective, or from a solution architect perspective. Now, because you've not answered my question, so I'm now going to ask you another question. What have you done in preparation to answer this part of this JD?
So I think Mike, you still say I did not answer your question.
I've left that one now.
I want to give you a baseline. I want to give you like a baseline because in the first interview, the lady did ask me,
Yeah.
That's what experience do I have with Salesforce integration. I did told her that only integration that I've done and hands-on was with a third-party app. Yes, that's what I told her.
Now, and what did she say?
Yeah, and then she put down the notes and she asked me, was there any other integration that I had worked on, of which I wish I had not said it, but
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So Efe, I hope you are listening, right? Now, how would you use the word only? That's a no-no. There's nothing like that. I've worked on multiple integration projects, most of them in a BA capacity. However, the most recent one, which was between Salesforce and DocuSign, I was hands-on, end-to-end. And then you start explaining what you did. Where is the word only in what I just said? Okay, yeah. So let me ask another question now. What is your expectation from this call? So maybe I'm jumping the gun. No, tell me.
Really, just give me like ideas, tips, and how to just go about it. Basically, that's it. Nothing.
But I can't give you. So okay, let me ask Faye this question. Faye, what did I tell you? When did I get? And when I got angry with you on that call, what did I tell you? So that Dorcas should not think that, oh, is it because it's me? What did I tell you, Faye?
I have to be able to speak to everything here.
Correct. And I know you were also trying to hide from that question of one solid integration project that you have done. Yeah. You continue to hide until we practically, blackmailed you to go and learn. And even at that, now we are seeing the outcome. Are you hearing me?
Mm-hmm.
DocuSign is as good as you installing a reports and dashboard from App Exchange.
How about Financial Force? I think
now we are talking because it's on screen. But can you speak to it?
No, like I'm just saying that Financial Force is I don't have so much information about it, but I'm also thinking it's an app that sits on top of the Salesforce platform.
Now, when you look at this role, this looks to me like, they're interested in things that has to do with sales and finance, right? Oh, so yes. DocuSign is not going to cut it. Maybe I should. Okay, Faye, before you go, how do you think we can help Dockers? Because me, I'll hand over to Philip after you finish now.
It's just for her to be able to... She should be able to speak the lingo they are looking for.
Lingo like what? Because now you say you've started learning. So what are the things you have learned?
Okay, so the course I enrolled for, they are starting next week.
Okay.
I enrolled for an integration course.
Okay.
They're starting next week.
Okay. Any last words for...
Yeah, she should just be able to use the buzzwords that's...
But that's what I'm saying. What buzzwords? Do you have any?
I don't know. It's Oga Mike and Oga Philip. They have done integration. You'll be able to know the buzzwords.
Okay.
Like something that will convince them that she has actually done an integration.
Okay.
Even if she hasn't done it. So she should just be able to speak to it well. Because I even told them about the process map. I described the steps and all. But they were still not convinced. They were like, what was my role? They were particular about the role during the integration, like what you did, what I did.
All right. Thank you very much, Faye. I know you need to jump. Appreciate you as always. Talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Bye-bye, everyone.
So much, Faye. Thank you.
Okay. Oga Philip, let me gather my thoughts. I beg. Put mouth. Thank you.
Hi, Dorcas.
Hi, Philip.
Yeah. Before I give you my tips, tell me everything you understand. Yeah. I guess you have this JD for the past 1, 2, 3 days. Just tell me things. Just, I don't know, just pick what will you be doing, what you will be doing, right? Talk through what they want you from your own knowledge. Just talk through it. So I will know how prepared you are.
Help drive software as a service system implementations for the services, support, and customer success functions, e.g., CRM, service desk, and knowledge base, omnichannel support, experience cloud, customer success automation, professional services automation. So, well, the project that I can readily speak to when it comes to satisfying this criteria would be the multi-cloud Salesforce solution for Sales and Service Cloud, and most especially in the Service Cloud. Of course, we made use of functionalities like the knowledge base, omnichannel support to route cases to agents based on availability and skill. Then also we hosted, web forms on the Experience Cloud. And then we also did some automations as well. So for that particular criteria, that's the project I'm going to talk about. So when I talk about STAR method, I'm going to make mention of what the situation was, the task. That's that one. I'm still going to go back to it. I'm just still using this opportunity to also reason along. So also researching, the next point is researching system functionality of existing. All right. One project that readily comes to mind is that of a multi-cloud Salesforce solution for a retail organization. They were looking to implement Salesforce to optimize their agents' productivity and streamline their processes. The challenge was that because of their exponential growth, they were experiencing high volume of sales inquiries and service requests. And so I worked on, my role in that particular project was as a Salesforce consultant. And so after various requirement elicitation with the various stakeholders, we were able to come up with the solution of the Salesforce Sales and Service Cloud. And with the Salesforce, with the Sales Cloud solution, it required lead management, opportunity management, quotes and product management up until opportunity management as well, up until contract, and then of course closing of that particular opportunity. So one of the challenges that they were facing was that they were getting bad lead data, which resulted in they were getting bad lead data, which affected the rate of closing opportunities, so to speak. So we had to make use of various automations and validations to ensure that the data that's coming into the system is actually clean and neat. And then when it comes to the support agents as well, the challenge was that they wanted to ensure that the phone lines were the last resort when it comes to service requests. So various functionalities within the Service Cloud was implemented, such as a knowledge base where the customers could self-serve. So going on the company's website, they could read up the various articles there. If those cannot answer the questions, then we also implemented, we also implemented the live chat agent. So with that, the customers could chat live with the live agent, and of course relay what their questions were or their challenges were. And if that's not possible, then of course he can now make a phone call. So other than that, also implemented some automations such that as soon as a lead is being converted to an opportunity, a contact and an account, then automatically a service contract and entitlement is created for that particular client. So an automation was used in that regard. And at the end of the day, after this project implementation, the sales agents were able to close deals 30% faster, and then service level agreements were no longer violated because the customers were satisfied at the end of the day with this solution. So
yeah, thank you so much. That's a good start. What was your role?
Yeah, I said I worked as a Salesforce consultant.
Okay. What did you do specifically? Because I was saying more general, probably.
Okay, so what I did specifically Like I mentioned that when I spoke about I didn't talk about lead qualification.
So I want you to hone why I say you should start that way is so that we can also see the gap. You yourself, you can see the gap, right?
Yeah.
The truth is that you are not lying. You did that project, right?
Yes.
And the fact is that whatever they're saying your role will be, they are not saying you're going to do all this. They said implementation of services, which you did, SaaS system, which is CRM, which is Salesforce, right? For services, you've done that. You've not only just done services, but you also done something on sales. And in that on that project, you did the problem. If we wanted to list the problem, probably because of expansion, probably because they're having new expansion, because of bad data, because of customer support issues, right? But your role there was to make sure that you list it, right? To address the data management problem, to cater for the expansion, to also not capture in terms of automation of addressing customer needs or customer experience. So you use maybe experience or community cloud kind of system on Salesforce. You may not mention all this, but these are examples, right? But you have to now own it. When I say own it, okay, I did this, and you also apply yourself in it to say, okay, requirement gathering, I was able to get requirement gathering, I was able to review this, I was able to come to this conclusion. That helps you, like they know you were in charge. So before we get to integration, right? This is your role you're going to be doing. So you should be able to speak to the role.
No, so to be honest, I think Peya said it all. The role or the title or the job title, the role for this job description is misleading. They are not looking for a BA. This is not a BA. According to what Peyi said, what you'll be doing on that job is not the role of a BA. If we're being honest with ourselves, it's not going to be what an actual functional BA does. It's not just it at all. So this is not even close to my role. Everything that I'm seeing here, to be honest,
just to say, to put something in context. Yeah. Sorry, just a fact. My husband worked as a business systems analyst, and then he saw this job description. He says, no, this is not a job of a business. He doesn't do any configuration. He doesn't do anything technical. He just is like a liaison between this team and that team. And then, he's aware of all the technical APIs and, the languages that they make use of. But of course, so I totally agree with you when you say the role. So what would you say that is fitting to call this? Would you say like a technical consultant?
A solution architect.
Yes. I don't want to, because you are going for interview tomorrow, right? Thank you very much. If it's being truthful, I see that element, Michael tried to say that, right? But I don't want to come with that negative energy, because I just want you to, you may or you may not. I don't want to be, because tomorrow they can just say, okay, we'll give you the job, right? But be truthful to yourself, like Michael said, right? Will you be able to do the job? Say this job, I'm currently doing such. So I tell people who are on this job, this kind of role is a layer. And I'm thinking, how big is this organization? Do they expect one person to do sales, service, experience, CPQ, revenue? They put it in bracket. They were not saying example. They say core application, as well as custom application integration across sales clouds, sales, service, experience, CPQ, revenue, financial cloud. Financial cloud. I'm still learning financial cloud. Do you know how many they paid 1 year subscription for? Do you know how many they paid? Because they are partner, they paid 3,500. Self-taught. 1 year. Yes, I'm doing some work, so you pick some part. Are you an accountant? Will you understand? Account payable, account receivable. Like they take 2 weeks, like crash between us for me to do an integration for. CPQ is an element. Express. So I don't know what they really want. You must say something that you must be able to talk to it. Probably to be fair for me to talk to it, but I won't collect less than 150. I'm just being fair. Like they say, okay, come, no, I won't. It's a whole lot of work. But the truth is, I don't know how many people they are employing. You may just be 1 out of 5. You may be 1 out of 10. This role, I don't know. And it's fair. Business System Analyst. I don't know what they want.
Sorry
to
cut you, Philip. What I can say though, so that maybe we can maximize this time and Dorcas can also get something out of this call, at least. I know that me and I have talked about this. We've looked at this role. We've talked about the role being misleading and all of that, knowing that this is sounding more like what it should be. So she's aware of all this already, but she's still going to go into that interview regardless. And we've interview session with someone before. I think Dorcas was also on that interview prep. And the role was looking technical like this, and we're all, even there on the call, we're all asked, do you think she's going to get this job? All of us said no. The next day, the girl came back with the job. And she's still doing the job now, and she's doing very well. So I think that you might not be familiar with these things now, but somehow, if you go into that interview tomorrow, you're able to speak and say 1 or 2 things, and you get it. You should be ready to be hands-on, to actually know this thing, because I don't think they're looking for someone that they will train to come and now do the work. They need someone that will just hit the ground right away. So that being said, another thing again that I know about Dorcas is she's not always comfortable with talking about things she has not done. So I don't know how you feel about having maybe Michael or Philip may have not done any integration before in true sense. Maybe they can give a context of what that really looks like. Even if you don't go into that interview to own it, it could just be that but to be honest, it would just sound like you came to sound like Faye again, that was just functional on that project and was not technical. But if you want to talk about the DocuSign as the only one that you've been technical on, or use the approach that Michael used just now to say that this was the one you were hands-on on, but you have experience on those other ones, I think maybe they can just help you out with giving you the context of what an integration project really looks like, and then you can go work with that.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay.
So what do you want? Mikey, are you there? Sorry.
Yes, I'm here. I'm listening.
So, okay.
She says she wants tips.
But to be fair, if I hear you clearly, she wants tips. See, I'm sacrificing my time here, right? But the person that wants tips, if tomorrow they are not asking for that tips, Pia said the tips, right? The same tips. I will give you the same tips. It's not a problem. But what will you see differently if the question you get there is different? Not the same question.
No, of course. I don't even.
That's why I want to build. I want to say you build your story, right? You've talked about the first one. We've corrected that one. Research system functionality of existing SaaS, e.g., Salesforce Cloud and Salesforce Sales and Financial Cloud. Have you done anything on, if they ask you tomorrow, have you done anything on ERP? Financial Force is ERP. It's not just it's ERP built on Salesforce kind of platform. It's a pure ERP. And they are big.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done anything on ERP?
Well, no.
The simple question is not the integration. See, this job role is trying to tell you that CRM integrated to ERP. That is what I see on this. That ERP,
so the CRM will be the source, and then the ERP will be like the Okay.
CRM is for customer, is for marketing, is for customer relationship. ERP is for finance, is for business solution, is for addressing the supply, the vendor, the customer, the types of money, bills,
billing.
Tax. It will involve. They have to speak to themselves. Objects have to meet and talk to themselves. In between that, you'll be talking about that professional service automation. In between the two, you'll be talking about Experience Cloud. In between the two, you'll be talking about that the knowledge base, the data. You don't have to duplicate data. You don't have to have the same data and same account. Account ERP, that means financial force object in terms of the individuals. I'll give you a summary. You want to chase a customer from Experience Cloud. The guy comes in, it first chat. You will know how we measure, maybe 10%, 20%. By the time the guy put emails, address, it turns to 80%, it turns to lead. Then you can now convert. You convert the person to account contact, and it becomes opportunity. When it becomes opportunity, what do? The guy places order. And before the order, maybe he gets a contract. The guy gets contract. Maybe you have auto contract and he signs and place order. You send the order. The question is, if I'm the one talking, I'll be talking differently. Are you sending just order? Maybe you put tax with the order. Then it becomes from the order. No, sorry, quotes before order. He gets the quotes because CPQ is going to play the role. The guy places order. CPQ generates the different quotes. Sends to the guy. The guy picks one. Signs contract. The quote turns to order. From order, after the order, it said, okay, I agreed, I'll make payment. He makes payment, you send invoice. Invoice is never going to be on Salesforce, right? Like that. Maybe on the Salesforce billing. By the end of the day, it has to transfer to what? Financial force. Financial force grabs the order. Will financial force be creating the contact or the account? No. Already, because financial force is integrated into CRM. It start to talk to the CRM back to where you created the account and contact. Grabs the name, grabs the contract, calculate the tax, post from financial force. It becomes what? AR, account receivable. From there, we post it becomes GL, general ledger. There may be refund. The guy said, oh, out of 1 million you supplied, I'm returning 200,000. It's financial force that will do that. Okay, Michael, financial force will do that. Financial force will now do the calculation to refund to the guy. Do you have a policy to that? Those integration have to work. You know, what kind of tax are you using? What kind of automation are you using? Those one comes to play. At the end of the day, that's the process. That's the entire integration. Because you have to speak. I just spoke like maybe someone end-to-end users. Remember, they are saying building prototype in sandbox through a mix of configuration, UI based. Of course, you know, sandbox. Of course, it's a practice playground for you, near production playground. Yes, you use that now to build all this user interface based automation in and out. In between what we are saying, automation have to play. I talked about Experience Cloud. How would the Experience Cloud come to play? Remember, when the guy came in newly as a potential customer, maybe through your web, and through your web is your cost. Maybe impute the Experience Cloud, whatever. When he's asking for refund, maybe he went through to chat and said, "Look, what you sent to me, what you gave to me." Maybe it was through Amazon. And he's trying to chat it up because you build a community. Maybe he wants to ask questions. That's where the knowledge base comes in to play. Maybe he wants to talk to any customer person. That's where you talk about omni-channel base support, right? Then the Experience Cloud also plays a role in that part of financial force. How does it play the role? If the guy wants to make payments, debit, credit, electronic transfer, he doesn't have to call anybody. It goes there because now he's into paying invoice. The accountant said pay online, like you pay for the likes of what's it called? Amazon or whatever. That's where you now make payment. And all those transactions moves from there to financial cloud. That's where you're talking about. Those are automation that comes to play. That's where the billing, all those questions they are trying to ask will come to play. All is based on cloud. Question, before we get to integration, they're creating documentation on new system functionalities. Yes, there'll be documentation right from the entire process, solution design, down to training manuals. you have to give to them. So you'll be talking about that. So creating documentation is part of your role, what you've been doing. You create documentation. You create not just requirement gathering, not just user stories. However, you also want to get the contract, how the contract, what the policy of the organization wants, right? Before contract is entered. Are they giving some province discounts? Or are they trying to say, okay, some states across North America, maybe Mexico is cheaper compared because of the economic situation compared to the US? What are their policy? So that people sign contract. Is it B2B? Is it B2C? Those are questions you need to talk about. Like, oh, this company was B2B, B2C. You speak to that. All those documentation comes to play. Solution design, you use Visio to design the solution design. Work with the admin to see that the integration is seamless. Where it was needed, we bought a third-party application. Why? Oh, we bought a tax application. Oh, we bought a duplicate application, a matching duplicate, because of the timing of the third application comes into play. We can talk about that, but however, we have to wait documentation. That's important. Of course, I think myself and you have talked about ticketing. Yeah, there were points you couldn't handle some tasks because they needed a developer to take charge. It's not everything you can do. So there were some of the level 3, level 2 question. They also went to say contributing to identify scalable solution, existing system, and implementing new system. The next question is that organization you are trying to integrate, do they have existing system? Why are they abandoning that? Why are they moving from classic to lightning? You have to now talk about classic lightning, what you know, all you know. The reason why it's fast, the new design is awesome, it's a lot of features, right? Even though, yeah?
I said the user interface.
As you have a long list, you will tell them the story, right? You move from that space. Oh, you played part. Oh, you're not a QA person, but you, in terms of result quality assurance and testing, you do that. So those, because that's what you'll be doing. By the time you know what you'll be doing, you are using what you've done to tell them what you will come and do in that organization, they will know. So that's the end, I'll say. That's the preamble, because I've touched, the truth is I've touched, what's it called? Service Cloud, Sales Cloud, Financial Force. It let them know that Service Cloud, Sales Cloud is CRM application. And Service Cloud, of course, you know, it deals with more of customer, omnichannel, blah, blah, blah. Sales Cloud, talk about trying to take leads down to opportunity and then you convert. But the Financial Force is trying to get the billing right. The PSC, you try to explain that part too, in terms of automation. Most of the services are making things work. Talk about the documentation. You can scroll down. Let me see the requirement. Stop. They know what they're doing. 3 years experience implementing, configuring SaaS application. Even though it's not all, you can say you've done CRM, ERP. If you have done PSC, you see CRM, PSC, you are still learning ERP. That work, right? To me, you can, that's why I say it's 50-50. Depends on how you tell the story. They may be looking for that candidate they can't get, but your story may be different. You're like, okay, we want Dockers. So you should be, that's why I want you to talk, not listen. So because the more you talk, the more we correct you, the better. Yeah, if we mention SIT, is that system integration testing, right? So I think I'll stop here.
Thanks so much, Philip.
Thank you, Philip.
So, Philip has said a lot, and I'm trying to pick my words. So, first of all, when I read, so these are the preferred skills: experience supporting, blah blah blah, experience, all this stuff. Salesforce Lightning. Okay. Now, so at the very beginning, I see that they didn't really hide what the role is about. I'm just reading this and it's now making more sense. This is a techno-functional role.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
what it
saying it.
is. Yes. Now, I just saw that too. And when I saw that, it resonated. Just permit me to talk for 5 minutes. And I want to apologize ahead. Dorcas, you may not like some of the things I'm going to tell you, but they are the truth, okay? And we'll still be friends. Because if you like abandon me, I don't abandon my own. Now, so when I saw that, I want to show you an old resume of mine. Okay. And just to put things in context. That's why when I told you that if they say, can I do this job? I will say yes. So what's my role here? Functional QA lead, functional analyst, right? Okay. What's my role here? Just hold on. What's my role here? Test lead, CWB Workday ERP, functional lead. Okay. Now, what was I doing? I want to show you things I was doing. So, acted as functional/configuration analyst by liaising with HR business partners and all other business SMEs, teams, and other internal departments and third-party vendors to gather and document functional requirements. That's functional. Hands-on involvement with the vendor to analyze and set up configuration in all accountable functional areas: benefits, core comp, advanced comp, human capital management, recruiting, and integrations to ensure they are in line with requirements as captured in relevant configuration workbooks and subsequent validation and testing of all Workday configurations in all implementation tenants throughout the project lifecycle. Worked with the Workday implementation partner to customize configuration of and testing of business processes, as well as condition rules within scope of the business processes, analyzed integration touchpoints. This is the person they are looking for. And when I was asking you that question, I was asking you deliberately. Now, you may want to upskill into this role, and that's fine. But you can't hide from saying, oh, I don't understand the role. I'm not going to tell you that. That would be a disservice to you for me to say, I don't understand the role. Now, before now, I used to put again, depending on the job I'm looking for, I can put this role. If you go to my LinkedIn, my role at CWB, Canadian Western Bank, is actually techno-functional analyst. That's the title of the role, /test lead on my LinkedIn profile. And that's what you do, because I'm serving as a test lead. So Workday functional consultant. So as a functional consultant, you are technically a configuration analyst. So you are no longer a BA. So this is not a BA role. Why they call them functional/configuration is because you are still gathering the requirements. It's still part of your job. You do everything that Philip said. That's the functional part. And when that is done, then you roll up your sleeves and do like the borderline development work. Borderline. Because there is the role of technical consultants. I'm done with that. I'm not doing that anymore. They don't have a life. Right? So that's why I was asking. And I want to say again, if he said something, she said, you are not good at saying what you don't know. The things you need to go and say in that interview, most likely you don't know them. And if you are not ready to invest in being able to say those things, that's what I'm saying. You will go and you will come back. I'm not going to determine the outcome. of that interview, right? But I'm just saying that we need to let you understand, and that's what we told Faye as well, that go and take a project. So when you look at this now, the BSA works within the enterprise business system. What they're saying is that there are multiple applications. So it's a team of people and everybody with their own area of expertise. So what I would expect is that everybody needs to know Salesforce on that team. That's the baseline. Now, apart from knowing Salesforce, they will have people with expertise in each of these clouds. Not the way we are doing Experience Cloud and we're just doing community website. No, not like that. Proper experience where community cloud that has users, playing in there and interacting. So they will have people who are experts in each of these. Now, what we are asking from you is that you need to be able to come to the table. It doesn't have to be exactly these items, but something similar. CRM versus ERP. What's CRM? This is all CRM. This is CRM. This one, sales and service. That's CRM.
Yes.
Every other thing, you are now entering into the realm of ERP. It's just that these ones have seamless integration with Salesforce. So it's easy for you to integrate these ones with the core Salesforce platform. Now, I'm not going to say, go there and say, oh, I've done CPQ, I've done revenue. Okay, go and do something that they may not have, that you have decided and you've taken ownership. And that's why when we threw Oracle NetSuite at you, what we're just trying to say is that I've done something similar. I don't have to have done exactly, do you work for them before now? You're going to work for them after now, right? So, but you want to show proof that I've been in similar roles. You want to speak the language. And that's why we are saying that the same way we coached Faye, and I said the same mistake we made, I'm not going to make that mistake again. Because I didn't see this when we were coaching Faye. If I had seen this, I could have literally just told Faye, don't just forget about it. Because Faye is not a technical person. But maybe you want to swing it, and there's nothing wrong. But what I'm saying is that if you can't commit to speak to a project that is a proper integration project, then we are joking. No? We are joking, literally, we are joking. Because everything I've heard you say now is still functional. You are talking about sales. You're talking about service. Philip extended it to financial force. So he will get away with it. And he put context of this is what you do in sales. Your leads come in, transform into accounts and opportunity contacts, and then you start raising orders. Then you need to now go into financial force because, again, Salesforce is not your typical financial application. You tell them why. What are the limitations? So there are a lot. Why do you think Salesforce has a lot of cloud? Why is everything not on the Salesforce platform? I know it's business segregation, right? But it's just because they know that that Salesforce platform cannot do X, Y, Z, and then they start creating clouds. The same way, there are certain services that Salesforce cannot do, or to the extent possible. People with serious business, they are not going to use Salesforce for their reporting. They will use Tableau or Power BI. People with serious business, they're not going to use Salesforce as their financial platform. They will use things like Oracle NetSuite. Financial Force, obviously, that's Salesforce, right? But there are other ones that you can integrate with Salesforce. And all we are asking is that pick one, CRM and ERP. ERP is the extension of the capability that the CRM does not have. And that's why at the beginning, I gave you that CRM and Oracle NetSuite. And then you are here tonight. There's no appetite to speak to that. And that's okay. But honestly, I'm not happy. And you know why? We need to take interviews seriously. I tell Babs, I say, I don't know where it's done. It's only in Salesforce that you do a 3 to 6 months course and somebody is offering you a 6-figure Canadian dollar job. It's only in Salesforce that you get that. It's not done anywhere else. Philip is here. Let him answer me. And that's okay.
I don't have to answer you now. We all know.
Yeah, and that's okay. So you need to be able to sell yourself. And I now said, okay, let me go online. Let me bring YouTube. This is me. I'm not the one looking for work. I Googled Oracle and NetSuite integration. This is a 36-minute video that clearly explains what that looks like. I shouldn't be the one doing this. It should be you.
I've watched that video.
So why are you not talking to us about it? You're not here to impress me. You need to impress yourself first. Self-belief is different from self-confidence. Self-belief is believe in yourself first before you want me to believe in you. This is what you should be talking about and figure out how to swing it as if you did it. If you can't do that, I'm sorry. There's no shortcuts. They know what, that's what I'm saying. You will go. A Quad 5 lady came to me. She said she got a call for a solution architect role. I said, send me the JD. I said, something must be right about your resume for you to get that call. And I said, send me your resume as well. She sent it to me. And I read the JD. And I realized this is borderline Salesforce developer role, right? Because Apex classes, triggers, and all of that, they were all in there. And I'll say, and they called you. She said, yes, you didn't even realize. And she now said, what will she do? And I said, I have an assignment for you. I said, number one, you must go for that interview because this was first stage, HR. So I said, you must go for that interview because if you don't go, we don't know what they're looking for. That's number one. And I said, number two, I'm giving you 24 hours. Go and do an assignment. That's what I do on a 2 to 3 times in a year. You need to be doing a career needs analysis for yourself. You ask yourself the question, what kind of role am I looking for in my next job? And then the next question is go and look for JDs that apply to that role. And check those JDs bullet point by bullet point. How do you fare? If there are 10 bullet points and I can only check off 6, there is my gap analysis. I need to learn the remaining 4 bullet points. I don't wait for a training and development plan from my employer to develop my career. That's why I told the program manager in an interview when he asked me, Mike, 1 year in Canada, you don't have a professional job. How would you convince me that you can still do what you say you can do? And I said, thank you very much for that question. In this age and time, knowledge is a penny for a dozen. Only if you are willing to learn. 10 years ago, I decided my personal career development is no longer in the hands of my employer. And I went on. You know how I talk. And by the time I was done, I told him, I said, in your own fair assessment, this role that I'm applying for, in your fair assessment, based on all that we have spoken about, do you think I'm not a competitive candidate for this role? In your fair assessment. This is me before 3 people. And he said, yeah, you speak very blah, blah, blah. And I said, would you know that this application I'm going to be implementing in this role when I'm hired? I only started looking into it a couple of days ago. But if I didn't tell you that, would you believe? He said, really? I said, yes. And I said, in 3 months' time, after I'm hired, come back and ask me whether I delivered on everything I said. And he looked at me. He was like, you are so bold. I said, yes, why not? Now, coming back. So what I'm saying is that for me, it's difficult to help. Those tips and tricks, I don't think tips and tricks will swing it.
No, I didn't say tricks, so please, I did not say tricks, Michael.
Okay,
I
sorry,
never said tricks.
But it's just paining me that we need to use the power of technology. If you want to go and regurgitate whatever Philip said, that's fine. But you can't get away with it by just telling me that whole telecom project. No, I'm sorry. You can't. Because really, did you hear what Philip was saying? He was talking to Efe that, okay, we are coming. We are still coming to integration. So you ask the question, what the heck has Philip been talking about? He's not talking about integration yet, too. Don't be deceived, though. So let me come back and say, in my opinion, what you should be doing is try and see how you can at least swing. I went again to ChatGPT. I asked ChatGPT, I say, how do you integrate Salesforce Sales Cloud and Oracle NetSuite? This is what ChatGPT told me. Even if you want to swing this, first of all, you define the integration requirements. You choose the integration method. Either you are using a built-in connector, an API, a custom integration, middleware, third party. Boomi is a popular one. Those are the kind of things you need
There's
to be
also
talking about.
acing.
Exactly. So why are we not hearing this from you? You have to convince me now. Because now you're like trying to convince yourself. But if you can't convince it. Map the data. Then configure the integration. Monitor and maintain. And then you now, this whole 5 points is just number one here. It's only let's get out of this. It's only these points. It's only these points. Only. It's only these points. Research. What do you even know about SaaS software? Why do we have SaaS? Do you know? What's the meaning of SaaS?
Software as a service.
What software as a service? Tada!
No, if I would just say, I'll just say ready-made. That's what I would just say.
Wow. Like you are wicked.
Good.
I didn't even thought of that.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I'll just say it's ready-made. Yeah.
I don't know. Now, building prototype in Sandbox. Again, you see, by the time you build this one, with that foundation, with your experience, I believe you can swing your way down this line. But you need to have that base. That base is the project. Without the project, everything will fall apart. So let me stop talking. And anybody can speak.
So, when you asked me what I needed, maybe I did not articulate it the way you expected, but just what you just said is just what I need. Your perspective towards it. How do I approach this? That's basically what I need. And I'm just gonna go ahead with. I would just I'll run with what it is that all the advice you've given, and that of Phillips as well, and then I'll see what I can do between tonight and
do you have a ChatGPT account?
Oh yes, I do.
Okay, so you can deal with that yourself. Okay.
So you wanted to send me that note? I could get
it. I
wanted
to. Yeah, I mean, it's not mine, so it doesn't bother me. But I'm just saying that again, you need to leverage technology. That's all I say. Okay, let me tell you something. I don't know, was any of you, okay, Becca obviously was in the HR session yesterday and day before yesterday. Babs asked me to set up the scoring criteria, right? And I messaged Olabi and I messaged Philip. I said, you know what? I just think like my brain is just not there right now. Help me. Can you just give me something? Olabi responded immediately. He said, why don't you try ChatGPT? That was his response. And I was like, okay. And yes, I went to ChatGPT and I got what I needed.